Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Jane's Fighters Anthology. Now, before we kick off the Kuril Islands, I'd like to do another reading from the USNF 97 manual, as there are 3 articles in there that pertain to the Kuril Islands campaign. So, starting from page 6.10, let's begin. Campaign history, Kuril Islands, 1997. Note, the British spelling of Kuril, which is Kuril with an E, is maintained in all articles from Jane's publications. For those that didn't know, Jane's is actually a British company founded in late 1800s, I believe. Although recently, within the past, I think sometime within the past 10 years, if I remember correctly, as of when this video was made, they were purchased by an American company, IHG. But that's kind of beside the point. So, continuing on, Encyclopedia of Military History, Volume 12, page 2320, 1996. Kuril Islands, called Kurilskaya Ostrova by the Russians and Shishama Reto by the Japanese. This archipelago is currently a part of the Sakhalin province of far eastern Russia. The islands were first settled by the Russians in the 17th century. Japan developed an interest in the islands in the mid-1800s, and by 1875 they had control over the entire chain. As part of the Yalta Agreement ending World War II, the Kuril Islands were returned to the Soviet Union. Japanese inhabitants of the islands were deported and replaced by Soviet settlers. Japan never relinquished interest in the islands, however, and has been seeking to persuade the Soviet Union and, after 1991, Russia, to return the southern islands, Habomai, also known as Malaya Kurilskaya Grada, Shiaktin, Kunashiri, and Itorofu, also known as Iturup, to Japanese sovereignty since 1945. Other islands in the chain include Ostrov Europe, Ostrov Simushir, Ostrov Onekatan, Ostrov Paramushir, and Ostrov Shumshu. And I'll be including a map that hopefully labels all those islands in this video. The next article, Jane's Defense Weekly, 12th of June 1993, Volume 19, Issue 24, page 23. Russia trims MiG-23 forces in the Kuril Islands, by Kensuke Ibata. The Russian Air Force has reduced the number of MiG-23 Flogger fighter aircraft based in the Kuril Islands. Japan's defense agency reported late last month that, in keeping with the general reduction in forces on the islands, the aircraft were removed from the Brevesnik, also known as Tanai Air Base, on Itorofu Island. The sovereignty of the Kuril Islands, which are occupied by Russia, is disputed by the Japanese government. Strategically, the islands provide the only routes, especially the Kunashiri Straits, that can be safely navigated by submerged Russian SSMs en route between the Pacific Ocean and bases on the Sea of Okhotsk at Peronatsk and Kirovsky. Russian President Yeltsin told Japan's then Foreign Minister Michio Watanabe in May last year that all armed forces on the islands would be removed with the exception of the border guard. Japanese defense agency sources said the reduction could be a move to improve relations between Japan and Russia, or could simply be a cost-cutting exercise. No improvements or changes to the base infrastructure have been observed recently, and therefore it is not thought that the Floggers will be replaced by more advanced fighter aircraft. Flogger aircraft have been based on the islands since April 1984, when they replaced MiG-21 Fishbed fighters. The force was updated with the later model MiG-23 MLD Flogger F and Trayer MiG-23 UB Flogger C versions. About 5,000 personnel are reported based at Burevestnik, and a division-scale ground force throughout the islands, reduced considerably since the early 1980s. And our final article. Frontline, the Pacific, 1st of May, 1997, Volume 24, Issue 20, page 3. U.S. seeks Japanese support, offers Kuril Islands. In a press conference last week, a spokesman for the Joint Chiefs of Staff announced that a U.S. Marine Task Force has captured the 2 of the southern islands of the Kuril chain, Kunashiri and Shiaktin, and is currently engaging Russian air and ground troops on the island of Iturup, also known as Itorofu. Seeking to safeguard Japanese economic support in the war against Russia, the United States announced last week its intent to secure the Kuril Islands. The islands, which are currently under Russian control, stretch between Japan and Russia and have long been a strategic concern for both countries. Japan was one of the first to sign the Russian embargo agreement imposed by the President of the United States early this year, costing Russia its largest supply of electronic equipment and computer components. As war in Eastern Europe pushed Russian resources to their limits, the regime began issuing increasingly direct threats toward its eastern neighbor in an attempt to break the embargo. Russian military bases in the Kuril Islands placed Japan well within reach of Russian Air Force bombers. Given the history of the atomic bomb in Japan, the threat of nuclear and conventional bombing is not taken lightly, and Japanese foreign officials have made it clear to the United States they cannot continue support without increased measures of protection. So, there you have it. While the Ukraine war wages on, the U.S. expanded the war to the Pacific in order to engage Japanese support in the war. So we'll be probably spending most of the time fighting on the island of Irtup and possibly, referring to the map here, Ostrov Europe as well, as we'll probably have to face Russian reinforcements from that island. So, thank you all for watching, and next time we will officially start Kuril Islands campaign. So stay tuned and we'll see you then.